What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, King Lister TV. And as you already know, today's Thursday, so that can only mean one thing. That's right, a brand new episode of Troy's Thursday Talks here tonight. Today's date is June 13th, 2019. This will be this edition of Troy's Thursday Talks, episode number 3. Tonight, I've chosen to not stick to one subject. I'm decided to dibble-dabble in certain areas of entertainment and pop culture. Tonight it's a weekly roundup for tonight's episode of Troy's Thursday Talk. So please sit down, put some headphones in, and really sit there and listen to me tonight. Got some good things to talk about in the sports and entertainment and some music stuff. So, here we go. Let's get started. Let's hop right into it. I want to start right away with some sports news. I haven't really done anything sports related in a while, so I wanted to kick this off with some sports stuff today. We're gonna stick with the NBA for today because let's be honest, baseball doesn't get competitive or important until at least late August, maybe early September. When the playoff push, the pennant push begins. But that's way off right now. We're still in June. Your team could be in first place right now in baseball and end up in fourth by the end of the season. So baseball's not really important right now. And football is currently in the in-between stage. Free agency has already been done. The draft's already over. Mini camp's done. Until training camp starts in preseason and you start to figure out who's going to be starters and position battles and stuff like that. That is out of the way. But the NBA is hot and heavy right now. Obviously, the NBA finals are going on between the Golden State Warriors and the Toronto Raptors. And also, of course, there is the pending free agency, and everything's going to happen as soon as the finals over. It's all season in the NBA is awesome, especially when free agency kicks off. But the biggest news in sports and in the NBA this week was the injury to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant ruptured his Achilles tendon and had surgery, and he will be out for the remainder of the season. Obviously, first and foremost, let me just say this. I am very sad to see Kevin Durant get hurt. I've never been a Kevin Durant guy. I've never been a KD guy. Anybody who knows me knows I'm actually a LeBron guy. I'm a LeBron fan. And not that I disliked KD. I used to like KD a lot when he was on Oklahoma City Thunder. I didn't like when KD left Oklahoma City to go play with the Golden State Warriors. I just wasn't a fan of that move. I just thought it was kind of I don't want to call it cheap, but I just thought KD was too good to want to go play with that team and really take that path. But that's over and done with it. I mean, that's water under the bridge, so I'm not really too concerned about that at the moment. But I was really sad to see him get hurt, man. I mean, this is a guy who is in the prime of his career. He's 30 years old. He finally has seemed to be able to shake the LeBron shadow that's been cast over him. Obviously, if you follow basketball, you follow the NBA, you know that LeBron is on the Lakers and did not make the playoffs this year. And this was kind of Kevin Durant's year to really take that throne as the best player in the world. Now, some believe it's Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee, or they think it could be Kawhi Leonard, whoever you may, James Harden possibly, people think. But Kevin Durant, to me, was probably the second best player in the world for the past few years, and I thought he had a chance to really take it this year. Anyways, he was hurt. He came back. He rushed back from injury, and he got hurt in Game 5 of the finals the other night and ruptured his Achilles. He had surgery, a successful surgery, and I do wish him a speedy recovery because, let's face it, Kevin Durant, watching him play in the NBA, watching him play the sport of basketball is a beautiful thing, and I love watching him play. But yeah, so the question is, do you think was he forced to come back? Was he forced to come back too fast? Listen, the Warriors were down 3-1 in this series, and they needed him because let's be honest, this Warriors team without Kevin Durant to me seems beatable. Now, I think that if you go back to the 2016 finals when LeBron and Kyrie and the Cavs came back for 3-1 to beat this Warriors team without Kevin Durant, I think it kind of shifted to the point where I think people weren't as scared as the Steph and Clay and Draymond Warriors anymore. And they signed Durant, and they became a whole different kind of monster and beast and won 2 straight back-to-back finals. He rushed back. Well, it seems he rushed back, obviously, because he got hurt. Even if he wasn't fully 100%, it was a risk to play him. I feel like, and the Golden State Warriors general manager Bob Myers came out and held a press conference, and he was very emotional about it. And he said, if you got to put the blame on him, put the blame on me. He'll take the blame for it. And it makes you question, who is to blame? Obviously Kevin wanted to play. Kevin wanted to prove to people that he had heart. Not that, because the internet and people questioned if Kevin Durant had, the heart of a champion. People really questioned him after he left Oklahoma City. As I mentioned before, he got a lot of backlash for that. People never really forgave him for that. And I think that a lot of people harped on him a lot. So I think Kevin really wanted to prove to the people, to everyone, that he has a heart of a champion, and he came out and he played hurt and got hurt worse. So it begs the question, who is to blame? But I think the Warriors were kind of negligent with this. I think that it's their duty first to protect these players, and if they would do the proper testing, they said he practiced, but if they would put him in actual strenuous situations, they may have realized he wasn't fully 100%, and because the calf injury they said they're aware of, and he injures his Achilles. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I think it's common knowledge that, if you have injured body parts that, and your return to action still injured, the other parts of your body that are in that area are going to have more stress on them because they're making up for your hurt spot. Again, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not sure that's completely accurate or not, but it's just sad to see these players come back and get hurt worse, not to completely leave off Durant in the NBA, but I remember when RG3, Robert Griffin III, if you don't know who that is, he was drafted by the Washington Redskins. He was a beast his rookie year. He won Rookie of the Year, and he was just really, really good. And in his last week before the playoffs started, he got hurt. He hurt his knee, and they threw him in. They threw him into the Lions Den in the playoff game a week later, and it was one of the worst looking injuries that I can remember seeing. Not in terms of like a broken bone or leg being bent or anything, but just the way he went down was so scary looking. And that guy was never the same. Young kid was never the same. So you wonder how Kevin Durant, how he's going to go forward from here. This is a guy, like I said, he's 30 years old. He'll turn 31 in September, and they're talking already that he's going to miss. He might possibly miss all of next season. So if he does miss all of next season, he won't return to basketball until the 2020-2021 season, and he'll be 32 by that point. There's no promise that he's going to be the same exact guy. There's no promise that he'll be the same player. We have no idea who he's going to be when he comes back. I mean, Kevin Durant is an absolute killer right now, but what will he look like after he recovers from this injury? A ruptured Achilles injury is not easy to recover from. It's a very difficult injury. It's the injury that really killed Kobe's career. Now, Kobe Bryant was 34 years old when he got injured with it. Durant's only 30, as I stated to you. But to me, 34 and 30 are not huge differences. I mean, I know maybe in a basketball world it may be much of a difference, 4 years. But to me, Kevin Durant is a guy who's had a lot of success, a lot of deep playoff runs. He's, especially the past couple years with Golden State, they've really been going deep, played a long time. It's just, he has a lot of wear and tear on his body already, probably. And like I said, if he does miss all of next year, he'll be 32 when he comes back. Who's to say he's going to be the same player? And that's a scary thought. Again, I mentioned Kobe. He was 34 when he got hurt. Kobe got hurt in April of that season, towards the end of the season, and he didn't return until December of the following season. That's 8 months. If you do the math, and Durant misses 8 months as well, just say 8 months, let's just give it a rough estimate, that would put him as a return sometime in February of next year, which would be probably after the All-Star break. But in that case, why would you bring a guy to come back? I mean, he's going to come back from injury. I think it's more likely than not he'll miss all of next season, which is kind of sad. I mean, I looked up, how long it takes to recover from a ruptured Achilles, and they say 4 to 6 months for normal activity. Now, normal activity to me is what you and I do on a daily basis. Walking around, maybe light jump, whatever. Not playing the NBA where you're running, jumping, and competing at the highest level of this sport in the world. So it's going to be tough to see how how he comes back. If he comes back next year, and now going forward, his future, his contract he was supposed to opt out. Everybody thought he was going to leave, test free agency. What's going to happen with free agency now? I mean, there's a lot of teams who've been banking on trying to sign Durant this year, really making moves and trading pieces and getting rid of assets and freeing up cap room to make this max contract offer to this player this season, who like I said earlier, is arguably the greatest player in the world right now. So now that this has an injury and he might not play at all next season, does this change teams' minds about wanting to sign him in the offseason? Will he decide to stay in Golden State? There was an article I read that said that Golden State was prepared to offer him a contract that he would sign. It'd be a huge deal, but he would be able to leave, any time in that contract, after any season he wants. That's a crazy idea. I think he might stay. You don't know. It brings me to my next topic with the NBA, which is Kyrie Irving and his pending free agency. Kyrie Irving opted out of his contract in Boston. He's going to leave the Celtics, and everybody's been wondering where he's going to end up. And the hot rumor right now, a lot of people believe all signs are pointing to him being a Brooklyn Net next year. And the big thing was him and KD both going to New York. But the question was, KD wanted to be a New York Knick, and Kyrie wanted to be a Brooklyn Net. But they were going to try to, either one was going to try to lure the other one with them. It's interesting now to see what happens with Kyrie because, you go back a couple years ago, Kyrie leaves Cleveland because he didn't want to be LeBron's sidekick, because playing with LeBron has a huge amount of pressure on you. I mean, LeBron is to me, in my opinion, the most criticized and analyzed star athlete in the history of all sports. In my opinion, there's been no player in the history of the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, NHL, whatever sport you want to talk about, that has been more put under the microscope than LeBron James, personally. And when you're a teammate of LeBron James, you get put under that same microscope, and that proved to be too much for Kyrie Irving, to the point where he had to go. He had to leave. And I'm very interested in seeing, he wanted to play with Kevin Durant, but now Durant is hurt. So it's like, do Kyrie's plans change? I still think there's a good chance Kyrie could end up in LA. People aren't talking about it right now, but I think which brings me to my third part of this NBA story, if the Anthony Davis situation, if Anthony Davis, who plays for the Pelicans, gets traded, because it's either Boston or LA, those are two spots that keep being tossed around. If he ends up in LA, if he ends up as a Laker, if the Lakers trade these assets to get AD, I think they can make a serious push to try to sign Kyrie, and you'll have another three-headed monster featuring Kyrie and LeBron, but this time with Anthony Davis over Kevin Love. That would put the Lakers as at least a top team in the West, I think, automatically. Depending on how much LeBron has left in him. But, I'm really interested in seeing how this Kevin Durant injury now, the dominoes that roll because of his injury. Because obviously, like I said, this was going to be the summer of Kevin Durant. This was going to be, a defining moment for him, the league, and other guys, who will fall under that. So we'll see now what happens with him and Kyrie and Anthony Davis and these other guys, Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris and Klay Thompson and all those other guys who are set for expiring contracts, and we'll see what happens with them going forward, man. But it's a very exciting time if you're an NBA fan. Game 6 of the NBA Finals is tonight. I think there's a good chance. I can't see Golden State losing tonight. It's the last game ever that we played at their current stadium. I think they get this win tonight. I think they come out passionate and intense after Kevin's injury. I think they get this win at Oracle, the last game there. They get this win for Kevin Durant. They get this win. They force a Game 7 in Toronto, and then we'll see from there. I can't see them beating Toronto 3 times in a row. I still think the Raptors will end up winning the championship, but we shall see, man. We shall see. It's definitely a great time to be an NBA fan and a sports fan in general, but we'll see how this stuff all plays out. So that's the NBA news for this past week. What's been going on? We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna transition quickly. We're gonna hop over to the entertainment world. Some movie news. It was announced today that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will be receiving the Generation Award from the MTV Movie and TV Awards this weekend. He'll get the Generation Award. They give out a Generation Award every year to someone who they think deserves an award based on the work of their career and what they meant to his generation. And I think in terms of The Rock, he 100% absolutely deserves it. The Rock, to me, is, I always tell people this, in terms of a celebrity or someone of that stature who you look up to, or you always liked, you're a fan of. He's one of the only ones I can say honestly that I was a fan of when I was like 8 years old and at 28 years old. I mean, from the wrestling ring to movies to the TV screen to just following him on social media, The Rock is an all around, to me, entertaining guy, a great guy, and I think this award couldn't be given to anybody better. I think this year, I think The Rock 100% deserves it. I mean, you look at his box office totals, what he's done with his movies, over $10 billion made worldwide with his movies. I mean, I've heard people call him franchise Viagra. The guy is, if your franchise is struggling and it's just not, it's not clicking all cylinders, inject The Rock into it and boom, you're off and running. I did not coin the term franchise Viagra. I heard it online from someone else. I forget who it was. Maybe it might have been The Rock, actually. I can't remember where I heard it. But anyways, yeah, the Rock has been great for franchises, man. You think about how he helped out G.I. Joe. That first movie was kind of a flop. They put him in the second one, and it ends up being more of a success. Fast and Furious is obviously the main example of what he's able to do for a franchise. The Rock joined the franchise in the fifth film, Fast 5. There hasn't been one movie in the Fast and Franchise Furious with The Rock that's made less than 600. It's made less than 600 million. They've all hit at least 600 million or more, and 7 and 8 hit over $1 billion. So and he got his own spinoff now with the Hobbs and Shaw movie, which I think will probably do well as well with the box office. But for example, I said they didn't make anything less than 600 million. The 4 movies without The Rock, the first 4 in this franchise, none of them made over 400 million. The most was the 4th film, which is called Fast and Furious, made, I believe, about 330 million, 363. I actually written it down. And the following movie, which is Fast 5, made over 626 million. So that's almost $300 million more. Now, I can't be all contributed to The Rock, I don't think, but he obviously is a big part of that. So, look at Jumanji, what he did with Jumanji. The Jumanji that we knew as 90s kids, we remember Robin Williams, a great film. People were super worried about it. Now, it did come out and have great reviews, but it did above average. I think, it's like around if you look on this IMDb, it's probably around like a 79 out of 100 probably, which is not bad or whatever, but it grossed 962 million worldwide. That's crazy. It's almost $1 billion film, and it got a sequel already, which come out this year. So obviously it did well enough to get a sequel. He makes money for these things. He has the show Ballers on on HBO. He has Ballers, which is heading to his 5th season. They're filming the 5th season now. So he's had that success. I've already talked about In the Ring and his equipment he makes for training, his deal with Under Armour. He just seems to be The Rock hits on all cylinders, man. But the only thing I can say about The Rock in a negative light, if I'm trying to be fair and not biased, is I don't think The Rock's truly given us an iconic character outside of the character of The Rock himself from his wrestling days. I don't know if he's given us a more iconic character. You think about the great action stars of the past, and they've all seemed to give us, or just movie stars in general, they've always seemed to give us an iconic character. You think about Sylvester Stallone, he gave us Rocky, he gave us Rambo. You think about Arnold Schwarzenegger, he gave us the Terminator. The Rock doesn't have that one character. I don't think that I would consider Luke Hobbs from the Fast and Furious franchise an iconic character. He's a good character, a cool character, but I don't think he's iconic. I don't consider Hercules, because that's already an iconic character in what is its own. I don't think The Rock made it iconic. I give him a shot at this though. They just announced, The Rock just actually announced on his Instagram earlier this week too, that they finally found a director for the Black Adam movie. Now, a lot of you probably don't know who Black Adam is. Black Adam is a character from DC Comics. He is the villain for Shazam. Shazam was a movie that came out in April with Zachary Levi, which did pretty well critically. Actually, a lot of people loved it. They nailed the character perfectly. That movie itself made $363 million in the domestic box office here in the States. So Black Adam will be its own film set in its own time, but then eventually they'll probably cross paths in a third film, and these two characters will probably meet and have a face-off. Anyways, but I think The Rock could really own that character. This is Black Adam's a character in the comics for sure, but it's never been portrayed live action before, and I think The Rock really fits that well. When they first announced that like over 3 years ago, I remember I was super excited for it because, again, you guys know me, I'm a huge Batman guy, I'm a DC guy. I think that he was just perfect for that character. I was very excited for it, and then it kind of got real quiet, and you didn't hear anything about it for a long time, and now, boom, here it is. He announces the director. The director he's working with now, currently on Jungle Cruise, a Disney movie, he'll be the director for the Black Adam movie. So hopefully, next year sometime, The Rock said before, they want to start filming this movie, and we can get this movie within the next 2 years. But yeah, like I said, Shazam made $363 million in the States. You know, if The Rock does a Black Adam movie, maybe when these two could join, I think he could kind of boost the box office for this franchise as well. So, you know, we'll see how that goes, you know, what happens with that going forward. But yeah, The Rock, you know, kudos to him. Congratulations for him for you know, he's going to receive the Generation Award from MTV this weekend, which is great for him. He well deserved. You know, we definitely smell The Rock's cooking. We all smell what's cooking. Moving on real quick to another DC movie news. Last week I did an episode on Robert Pattinson being cast as Batman. We had a whole long talk about it. They announced the villains officially. I read an article. It was I had told you Catwoman and Penguin were rumored. They were confirmed along with the Riddler and Firefly. I think that's a pretty good set for 4 rogues. I'm sure the Riddler will probably be the main villain. I told you before they wanted to make a noir-style detective film for this Batman film. I think the Riddler is a great mastermind villain for him to really challenge Batman mentally. So I'm super looking forward to these villains, and I think that done right, you can see them down the line more in more future movies than just this one. Good set of 4 villains. Now I'm looking forward to see who they're going to cast as these characters going forward. But I like these 4 choices as villains. No, you know, nobody truly, no Joker, no Bane, no Ra's al Ghul. These characters we've seen over and over and over and over. So I'm looking forward to it. Other entertainment news, probably to me personally, the biggest entertainment news of the week that came out of E3. E3 is the giant gaming convention they have every year. And this year, Xbox did announce that their next console, which they're calling Project Scarlet, will drop in the holiday season 2020. So not this holiday season, the following holiday season, the next Xbox console will drop. Right now it's being called Project Scarlet, so I'm not sure if it will actually drop as Xbox Scarlet or what it'll be called. You know, these names for these consoles for Xbox have always been weird to me. You know, you had Xbox and then you had Xbox 360, which I was like, okay, you know, it's the second one, 360, okay, I get it. And then it was Xbox One, which I was a little confused about, but then when they explained that it's, you know, it's a all-in-one system, you know, you have your one home for entertainment, okay, that makes sense. Project Scarlet, I don't know what that name means or what it's going to mean, but, you know, it's going to be 8K compatible and run super fast. I was born in 1990, as I told you guys before. I remember playing the first Nintendo. I don't know how much better video games could possibly get. These consoles, you know, how much faster they can run and how much better graphics they can have and all these things, but it just gets better and better, and it blows my mind. I'm definitely looking forward to the Xbox Scarlet, if that's what we're going to call it. I'm definitely looking forward to the next gen. Looking forward to that a lot. I've been an Xbox guy now for over a decade. I was originally a PlayStation guy, and then I made a switch to Xbox around the time Halo 2 came out, which is way back when. And I've been an Xbox guy ever since, so I'm definitely excited for that. Other than that, that's in the entertainment aspect right there. I'm going to switch over to music real quick. The biggest song that came out this past week that everybody's been talking about is a song called No Guidance. That is Chris Brown featuring Drake. It marks the first ever collaboration for these two artists. And I don't count the Deuces remix from, 2010, whenever that was, because a remix is a remix, and Drake could have recorded that part of the song not even with Chris Brown. So this is the first collab for these two, and it was highly anticipated for a long time. These are two major artists, from the rap world, the R&B world, and they collided with this song, and a lot of people were calling it the song of the summer. I've seen that all over the internet. Song of the summer, song of the summer, song of the summer. Do I think that No Guidance is the song of the summer? No, I do not. I think it's a good song. It's solid. Drake does his normal Drake thing, and Chris Brown's hitting his Chris Brown notes, and it's a good, modern R&B song, but I don't think it's a great song. I think they could have done better. I don't think, other than captionable quotes and lyrics from these two, which, Drake gives you, lyrics that can be captions for your Instagram posts all the time. So besides that, I don't think it was that great of a song. It was good, but Song of the Summer, no, I can't give it that. I can't give it that yet. It doesn't have the right vibe to be Song of the Summer to me. And personally, I think the song Purple Emoji, which dropped probably about a few weeks ago now, is a better song than No Guidance. Purple Emoji is Ty Dolla $ign featuring J. Cole. I think that's actually a better song to me. I think that, in terms of going for an R&B vibe, I think that Purple Emoji does a much better job. The lyrics and the meaning to Purple Emoji is a lot deeper to me. The lyrics are a lot more meaningful. It's a lot more about love and your spouse and how much they mean to you, and how much, just you gotta listen to the lyrics. I mean, it's just go check these songs out. Listen, if you haven't heard them yet, listen to Purple Emoji, listen to No Guidance, and then please, in the comments below, let me know which song you think is better. So, for sure, I just think personally, Purple Emoji is a little bit deeper. It just is a better vibe. It's a better song. It's a better vibey song. I just vibe to it so much better than I do No Guidance. No Guidance is a decent song, but I think Purple Emoji is better. And I think right now, for me personally, the song of the summer, right now at least, is the song called The London, which is Young Thug featuring Travis Scott and J. Cole again. And I think that song right now, that's a great song. That's a fire song. That song is pure heat. I think that right now to me is more of the song of the summer right now than No Guidance would be, personally. But that's no hate on Chris Brown or Drake. I mean, you guys, if you don't know me, I love Drake. Drake's one of my favorite artists. He's probably my second favorite rapper, right beneath Cole. But I don't think that No Guidance is the song of the summer. I think The London is a better song. I think that Purple Emoji is a better song. Speaking of J. Cole and his Camp Dreamville, his label, dropped 2 songs last night off a little project they dropped. It's called 18888 Dream. It's 2 songs that are going to be previewed off of their compilation album they're making as a label, which is going to be called Revenge of the Dreamers 3. Again, Dreamville is J. Cole's label, and there's artists on his label, and they are dropping a compilation album, ROTD3, Revenge of the Dreamers 3, which drops hopefully soon. They've been gearing up for it, and they dropped 2 songs off it last night. They dropped a song called Down Bad, which was JID, Boz, J. Cole, Earth Gang, who are all members, or all label members of Dreamville, and they featured Young Nudie. And then also the second song was Got Me, which was Omen and Ari Lennox, who are Dreamville artists, featuring Ty Dolla $ign. Quickly, shout out to Ty Dolla $ign. He has progressed as an artist so much, and He makes great music. Ty Dolla $ign is very talented, and almost every song he's on, I like. And I like him a lot. I think he did great on that song, and I think one of the reasons why I like Purple Emoji so much more than No Guidance is because I like Ty Dolla $ign in that song more than I like Drake or Chris Brown in No Guidance. But that's neither here nor there. But just quick shout out to Ty Dolla $ign. He's been killing it, and I think he just makes good music, man, and he makes good vibey music, and I think you guys should check him out. If you never listened to Ty Dolla $ign, check him out. He makes good music. But yeah, last night Dreamville, Cole, Dreamville, the whole camp dropped 2 songs to preview for their album coming out, and they're both really, really good. And they did something really, really cool. The title of the 2 songs they put out, they put it in a little package on like Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream from. It's 1-888-88-DREAM. It's an actual hotline number. You could call the hotline and you could do certain things. You could hit 1, talk to a representative, and you might actually talk to a Dreamville artist. One of the artists from Dreamville, talk to him. I was on Twitter last night, and I was scrolling through reading the reactions from the song, or the songs that came out, and I saw a video girl put up. She called the hotline, the actual number, and she spoke to Ari Lennox, who's the female R&B singer on the Dreamville camp. She had a whole conversation with her, and they they basically just thank you for listening to it, ask you what you think of the songs, and that's pretty cool to me. That's actually really, really cool to me that they did that. I mean, what a cool camp. J. Cole's always been known for doing special things for his fans. Even if you go back to years ago, he used to do his Dollar and a Dream shows, which would be pop-up shows. He would announce them like 48 hours in advance, like, be here in Atlanta, boom, boom, Dollar and a Dream. And he would come and perform like a whole mixtape or album that's, his older music, and he would charge fans $1 for entry fee. I mean, and they stopped doing it because it got too crazy. I mean, so many people would show up to try to, buy a ticket for $1 to see J. Cole that it would cause havoc and chaos outside of these places that they were going to have these little shows at. And but that's just small tidbits of things he's always done. Last year when he dropped KOD, he would go, he would have listening parties or in concerts and stuff, and he would go outside and meet his fans. I mean, I remember seeing a video last year of him holding someone's baby. I mean, this is a major rap artist here. He's one of the probably the 3 biggest names in rap, other than Kendrick and Drake, I think, for our generation. And this is a guy who, that's why I think his fans go so hard for him, because he goes hard for his fans. And having that hotline with these 2 songs they dropped last night, to be able to call and just have a fan, even just 30 seconds, thanks for listening and what you think of the song and blah blah blah, and that's it. That's awesome. That's an awesome way to reach out to your fan base, and it shows the humbleness and the realness to these artists on Dreamville, which is why I think a lot of people like them, and they're also so very talented. If you like lyrics, if you like rappers actually spitting bars, listen to the song Down Bad. They all kill it. I think Boz has the best verse on the song, but check it out, man. It's fire. I'm really looking forward to their compilation album Revenge of the Dreamers 3, man. I'm really looking forward to that. But that's it today, guys, in terms of major news for today's Troy Thursday Talks. But, please feel free to comment below. I want to know from you guys. Did Kevin Durant return too early? What do you think Kyrie Irving is going to end up? If sports is not your thing, let me know. What's your favorite movie from The Rock? Do you think The Rock has an iconic character? Are you excited for The Rock going forward the Black Adam movie? Do you think The Rock deserved the Generation Award from MTV? Let me know your thoughts about this video and these topics. Let me know right now. What's new? What is the new music you're listening to? Have you heard these songs I mentioned? No Guidance, Purple Emoji, The London, the 2 songs that dropped from Dreamville last night. Have you heard these tracks? Do you like these tracks? Do you have a song that you think that is the candidate for Song of the Summer that I haven't heard yet? Maybe let me know. Drop the link in the comments below, man. I'm always down to check stuff out and listen to new music. So again, please comment your thoughts below if on these topics. I love to have open dialogue with you guys. I would love to go back and forth. So just let me know. Let me know what you think. If you like this video tonight, like, share, subscribe as always. And going forward, happy Thursday. This has been another episode of Troy Thursday Talks. Next week we will return. I probably won't do a weekly roundup next week. It'll probably be focused on one topic again. I have a couple topics in mind that I'm playing around with that I want to do for you. That I'm going to do for you guys. Also, be on the lookout for more Troy's top 5 coming up soon. I have more countdowns and things I want to do. I've been thinking about. So look out for this content coming soon. And again, thank you to all of you for viewing in tonight. I hope you have a great night. Peace. Too sweet.